Welcome. Tonight, we begin with the latest in the ongoing political saga in Rivers State. Of course, the former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Prince Uche Secondus, said something. He, along with other members of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State, made some statements, and this began the latest twist. We've had several twists in this saga. Well, Prince Uche Secondus and members of the presidential campaign council of the party in the 2023 general elections in Rivers State, basically Atiku Abubakar's campaign team, led by the former Minister of Transportation and Director General of the campaign organization, Dr. Precious Sekibo. They declared what they call total loyalty to President Bola Tinubu. Now, these are members of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State, not just members of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State. They campaigned for Atiku Abubakar. They addressed a press conference where they announced and declared, "On your mandate we stand." And they didn't say those words, but that's what it would imply when you say we're totally loyal to Mr. President. They also declared the support for Mr. President Bola Tinubu, and, of course, no surprises there for the man you see on your screen, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, governor of Rivers State, who is of the PDP, no surprises. Well, the group didn't stop there. They called on President Bola Tinubu, saying, "Mr. President, please, call the FCT Minister, Chief Nyesom Wike, PCCRS, POS Africa. Call him to order." They said that Nyesom Wike had publicly threatened to destabilize what they call the peace of the state. Now, Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike's famed political structure, did not take this press conference by Sekibo, Secondus, and co. lying down. And the chorus of replies from the Nyesom Wike political structure, the famed political structure, which he said he wouldn't let go. The chorus of replies started with the chairman of the Rivers State Caretaker Committee of the All Progressives Congress. Don't forget, the state exco is still saying they are there, but this man was appointed by the party chairman, so he's recognized. Chief Tony Okocha, he addressed the press conference all the way in Abuja at the party's national headquarters. He organized a press conference to tell Secondus, Sekibo, and co. that they cannot join the All Progressives Congress through the back door. Chief Tony Okocha described the Sekibo-led PDP campaign group, all right, as what he calls crisis merchants. And he said that if they felt concerned about the political situation in Rivers State and all that, it would have been honorable for them to seek solutions rather than, these are his words, constituting themselves as snitches and fifth columnists in the state. Trust Rivers State politicians, they know how to speak English. Now, he challenged the Rivers State Governor Fubara. He says, Governor Fubara, if you think you're popular, test your popularity by conducting local government elections in the state. Let's know your political strength. Well, after Chief Tony Okocha, it was the turn of the Rivers State House of Assembly to call their own press conference. And they organized that on Saturday. They organized a press conference in order to inform the state governor, Nyesom Fubara, that they, the State House of Assembly, 27 of them loyal to Nyesom Wike, will not hesitate to impeach him, Nyesom Fubara, if he becomes, or it becomes, the last resort to uphold the Constitution, as they put it. The Speaker of the House, Martin Amaewhule, flanked by the 26 other members who are loyal or seem to be loyal to Nyesom Wike. Don't forget the 27 of them have been at loggerheads with Nyesom Fubara since October last year, when they attempted to impeach the governor in the heat of the political crisis in the state before President Bola Tinubu intervened, inviting the feuding parties to Abuja to sign an 8-point agreement. Or is it an order? Well, Amaewhule went on, the speaker. This is Edison Ehade, the former speaker who resigned his seat to go become the chief of staff to Fubara. But Amaewhule, the other one, accused Fubara of refusing to abide by the Abuja peace agreement. Well, all of them, he said he didn't abide by anyone. And he pointed out that the governor has continued to act outside the law, including running the state without an approved budget. Imagine that. But the speaker also reserved attention for the members of that, the defunct PDP Rivers State Presidential Campaign Council, the group led by Sekibo and Secondus and co, for declaring their support for President Tinubu, describing them as making an attempt to paint Nyesom Wike black in the eyes of Bola Tinubu. Well, let's look at the latest in the unfolding political situation in River State. It gets more interesting by the week. Our guest tonight, Qudus Alalafia, Esquire, is a legal practitioner. He joins us via video link from Abuja. Qudus, it's good to have you on the program tonight. There's a lot of legal implications to this, and we're pleased that you can join us at this time. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, and thank you for having me on this show.
All right. Qudus, what is your take on the latest twist? You can relax a bit into your seat so we see you properly. But what is you can relax into your seat, your chair, so we see you properly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is your take on the latest in this unfolding political situation, which was kickstarted by the PDP group addressing a press conference, to declare their support for the president?
The first thing I would like to say is that what is happening in River State between the executive arm of government and the legislature is what we can best refer to as legislative anarchy. When I say legislative anarchy, I mean where the legislative arm of the government has set out or put itself out as if he is in the day-to-day activities of government. Of course, by the nature of the legislature, it is to formulate policies, it is to make law for the executive to implement. So the totality of the conduct of the legislative arm, to the greatest respect to them, has been to a larger extent an infraction on the executive arm or power of Mr. Governor, who is the executive office holder of River State. Now, being a lawyer, I would not want to dabble into the issue of politics. It is within the ambit of PDP if they believe that they want to set out a support for Mr. President. It is within their right. I am not part of them, and I will not. I'm not a political.
But you're a lawyer. You are an analyst as well. They say every human being is a political animal. But we'll come to that. We'll come to that.
I agree.
We'll come to that. With the latest, Qudus, does this show that Nyesom Wike is still in charge in River State?
Okay. Let me speak like an analyst. The truth is that he is. If you look at there's a recent video that we saw online when he entered into River State with a lot of convoy, FCT 001, all those
dispatch riders
of executive this thing. Of course, it should, and of course, having the larger portion of the members of the River State House of Assembly still having their loyalty to him instead of the state. I'm not even saying it to the governor now, to the state. You do things, you make policies to make sure that the state move forward. Let me cite an example. Now, there was a bill, I think something with respect to River State House of Assembly Commission, which to a very large extent, according to the 1999 Constitution, ordinarily should be an executive arm. Now, they vetoed the power of Mr. Governor to pass that bill into law. Everything still boils down to the fact that there is a power play. And the totality of that conduct is that, see, you are just there as a figurehead. If you do not do what we want, we will have our way. We have our way of certain things. And the recent threat to even impeach the governor, and the totality of the FCT minister's character, demeanor, shows that the Rivers State House of Assembly members, the 27 of them, are dancing to the tune of the FCT minister. Now, if you look at their conduct and you sum it up with what the FCT minister said recently, that, of course, it was as a result of the respect that he has for Mr. President. That was why he was, he was a bit calm with respect to issues in Rivers. Do you understand? Now, if you look at that and coming to what the Rivers State House of Assembly members are doing to the current governor, to a very large extent, it is not in the best interest of Rivers State. It is not in the best interest of the good people of Rivers State. It is not even in the interest of governance. So the totality and my own summation of it all is that it is legislative rascality. It is legislative anarchy. It is even disrespectful to the people of Rivers State for them, for their representatives to have their loyalty to an individual rather than the state. Not even to the governor this time.
Right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. So your summation is that Nyesom Wike is still in charge as far as the politics of Rivers State is concerned. I want to also look at this, aspect, the PDP group expressing support for Mr. President. You said it's their right. All right. Anyone can do anything, but this is the core that campaigned for Atiku Abubakar in the 2023 election. It was a high risk to do that in Rivers State, challenging Nyesom Wike in the same PDP. High risk. So what do you make of that? That they're coming out now to say we support Mr. President, total loyalty and support.
You see, what I see to that, with due respect to the PDP, is that PDP is not serious. It's not a serious political party. There must be, in every democratic setting, while we have the sitting party as the one in governance, we must have a very formidable opposition. You see, Mr. President is so, I don't know how to put it, should I say so wise, that he has to cut off the let me say the tooth, not even the teeth, because PDP has no teeth. It's just one tooth, and that was in Nyesom Wike. From the date he appointed him as a minister, he has already crippled PDP. Because if you look at it, you can just imagine what would have become of APC if Nyesom Wike is not the minister of FCT, is not in the Federal Executive Council set up by the Mr. President. Wike, that we all know, would have been a thorn in the flesh of the current party. Of course, Mr. President knows what he's doing, and for Mr. President to have cut off the only tooth which PDP has, what else? What is left of every other member?
It is quite interesting. It is quite interesting. You described as the only tooth that Mr. President has. But
that is it.
The only tooth that PDP has. Sorry. Yeah, you have a point. So, but I'll start where you're coming from. Now, I want you to get into, Qudus, the mind of these leaders. These are men of timber and caliber, like we say in Nigerian politics. These are strong men. Uche Secondus was the chairman of the People's Democratic Party nationwide. Secondus was the transportation minister under Obasanjo. We had the like of Celestino Mejia. He was once elected as governor of Rivers State. We have the likes of Lee Meba, who was in the Senate when Obasanjo was president. These are strong men. And these men backed Nyesom Wike when he was governor. They were in his inner circle. They are the ones you see moving around with him when he goes to commission projects. What is in the mind? I want you to get into the mind of these men that will make them say they are declaring their total loyalty and support to Mr. President. What do you think is at play here? Because politicians do things for reasons. Yeah.
It's a simple thing, relevance. Everybody wants to be relevant. You know, politicking, or should I say political participation, is periodical, is timeless. It's something that has to do with time. Sometimes you are there, sometimes you are not there. Now, for people, or for politicians, with due respect to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, before he became the president, he consistently maintained his political relevance across Nigeria. I'm not even talking about a section of the country, across Nigeria. If you look at Nyesom Wike, so this is somebody that rose from, I think, ward chairman to local government to House of Assembly, if I'm not mistaken.
No, chief of staff to the governor.
To chief of staff, okay, to chief of staff, to governor, minister of state, to minister of state and governor, now to minister of FCT. These are people that have maintained their relevance. Now, Uche Secondus, that you made mention, and a couple of others, I would say they maintain their relevance perhaps between 2011, then perhaps 2015. We rarely hear of anything they are doing as we speak. In politics, it is very key that you maintain your relevance. It is very key that you maintain your grassroots. I am not saying that they do not maintain their primary grassroots. That is where they come from. But of course, we have ward politicians. We have local government politicians. We have state politicians. These are politicians at the federal level. So what relevance are they still maintaining at the federal level? Do you understand? So if they are now coming out to say they are giving the president a total support, it shows that they are saying that, note, they are not saying that they are giving the political party total support. No, they are saying they are giving Mr. President total support. Now look at the statement of the FCT minister. He says, I do not, in one of his statements, said there is nothing that concerns him with respect to ABC. He has only come to join the Federal Executive Council set up by Mr. President, and it is out of respect for Mr. President that he has joined. Now, Uche Secondus and others too are now coming to say that we are also in line with, we are also setting our support to Mr. President. Invariably, what are they saying? We are behind you.
Okay.
So if you look at the line, the storyline, their body language, to the greatest respect to PDP, that's why I said they are not a serious political party. There is nothing personally anybody will tell me. If you want to be the teeth. Now I was referring to, I said PDP does not have teeth. It only has tooth, and Mr. President has supported the tooth. Now the teeth that we could have said PDP has.
Are you there? Okay. Qudus, while you're trying to attend to that, it's quite an interesting conversation, and of course, it's quite an interesting development. Before we go to the accusations on Fubara, for Nyesom Wike as minister, I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Do you think, do you believe that, the People's Democratic Party should possibly go ahead and suspend Nyesom Wike? Do you think that they will? It's sort of about whether they should or they will, because we hear they have a meeting coming up pretty shortly, and the leaders of the party will sit down. Do you think that, do you suspect that they will? Do you think they will, and do you think they should suspend Nyesom Wike?
Okay, I will answer it in two ways. Do I think they should? Do I think they will?
Yeah.
Now, let me take it from they should. Now, I think they should suspend the minister of the FCT. Yes, Honorable Minister Nyesom Wike, they should. Because in every political party, what looks like a contempt of court or what looks like a treason or treasonable felony is anti-party activities. Now, there is no way you can tell me that you belong to a political party, your loyalty belongs to that political party is the one sponsoring you, for whether or not you are the one financing or bankrolling the political party is another thing. But I am saying that legally, if a political party sponsors a candidate, so if a political party sponsors you to become a chief of staff, minister of state, governor, and of course, you hold that political party 100% loyalty. So for me, legally, I would say they should, because he has committed anti-party activity.
All right, we'll take a break.
Governance is not about
yes,
Mr. President, is about him. But if they say they will.
Qudus, we want to go for a quick commercial break. I'll come back to you shortly. When we return, we'll look at the specific allegations leveled against Nyesom Wike by the River State House of Assembly. Will he be impeached or not? Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Politics HQ right here on News Central Television. Now we're still looking at the unfolding political crisis in River State following the statements and press conferences by dramatist personnel in the political situation. We have a PDP group led by Uche Secondus, former Minister of Transportation, and Prince Uche Secondus, former National Chairman of the PDP, who addressed a press conference calling on Mr. President to call the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to order, saying that he has publicly threatened to destabilize River State. Of course, they declared their total support and loyalty to Mr. President. Strange for members of the People's Democratic Party. Well, that's politics in Nigeria today. The Nyesom Wike political structure, the famed political structure of Nyesom Wike, which he said he wouldn't hand over to anyone, just like that, made haste to reply and respond. With the chairman of the of the APC in River State, that's the chairman of the caretaker committee instituted by the party's national leadership in River State, addressing a press conference at the party's headquarters in Abuja, saying, hey, hold on a minute, you guys should not attempt to come into APC through the back door. And of course, on Saturday, the Martin Amaewhule led River State House of Assembly, that's the River State House of Assembly, basically, if I want to put it better, also addressed a press conference reminding Governor Fubara that they are still around, and there's that news of impeachment hanging over his neck, and they can, pull it anytime, tighten it anytime they want. Our guest tonight is still with us, Qudus Alalafia. Qudus Alalafia, Esquire, is a legal practitioner. He joins us via video link from Abuja, Nigeria. Qudus, when you were saying yes, the FCT minister should be expelled or suspended from the PDP for alleged anti-party activities, I was sweating for you. I don't know if you have a landed property in Abuja, but I was enlightened. I know that the minister won't do anything to you. He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. All right, Qudus, let's look at the specific allegations thrown in the direction of Sim Fubara. The first one is that the Martin Amaewhule House of Assembly, as led by Martin Amaewhule, or let me say the River State House of Assembly, under the leadership of Martin Amaewhule, reminded or have alleged that Governor Fubara has not fulfilled any of the 8 points agreed, under the supervision of Mr. President. For instance, he has not represented the budget, or the appropriation bill, rather, and they accused him of spending an unapproved budget as governor of River State. That's one. What's your take on that?
Well, my take is that it amounts to gross misconduct on the part of the governor if he's actually spending government funds without appropriate budget duly sanctioned by the River State House of Assembly. In fact, it is a ground for impeachment. It is a ground for impeachment. But if we are going to be fair to ourselves, we will see that the relationship between the legislature or the legislative arm of government and that of the executive arm has not been cordial. That is why I said that what particularly the River State House of Assembly is doing to the governor or is doing to the executive arm to a very large extent yes, is a bit disrespectful. If I can say, there should be a balance, so that both of them will meet at the table and make sure that they do things in the interest of the River State citizens.
Okay,
Now, I wouldn't
Qudus,
have
I just want to ask
anything
you a very quick
against.
question because of time. Sorry to interject to
Okay.
this. Yeah. What do you think is responsible for Fubara's refusal to implement some of the parts of the agreement, like going back to the House of Assembly to bow before them and present the budget? What do you think is responsible for that? And why is he, as an informed politician, not afraid of impeachment, by his refusal to go there?
Well, we are all human beings before we become whatever we become on this earth. So perhaps it may be out of frustration. It's kind of I'm twisting the executive arm not to work, because if the legislative arm that is responsible for the passing of laws, of certain laws that will make, upon which the executive would write, if they are twisting the executive to make sure that it's not what they would, there is no way the executive headed by the Mr. Governor would not be frustrated. And of course, a frustrated human being is an angry human being. Of course, he will be searching for ways to get out of the situation he has found himself. But if I can quickly make a point, that I have absolute respect for the FCT minister, because it shows that his imminent, his own individuality is even a threat to his political party. And that is why I said earlier that even though PDP should, of course, ask him to leave the party, they will not, because he is their main pillar.
Qudus, your lawyer didn't do anything wrong. You don't need to, but I think you've said your mind, and that is it. And there's nothing anyone. Yes, I mean, you've said it all. You've said that, and you've been balanced. You've said that, the governor, if it's true, the allegations that he is not presenting the budget, it's not approved and all that, is committing an impeachable offense. And you've also said the FCT minister too, by his actions, any ordinary party would say, hey, we need to expel you because actually you say in your opinion the anti-party. That's fine. Do you think the governor can survive this arm twisting, like you called it, of the state judiciary legislature? Because apart from asking him to present a budget again, they've also, been able to pass some laws which the governor has refused or withheld assent to, and we know that after some time they can pass it as law. For instance, they amended the River State local government law, and then they gave themselves the power, to extend the tenure of elected council chairmen and councillors where it is considered impracticable to hold local government elections before the expiration of your 3 years in office. Where do you see this going? Because the governor is also saying he has put in local government chairman, caretaker local government, and he's going to keep them there for as long as he wants to. They're saying organize elections, or we will take over the local, can appoint and all that. Where do you see all this arm twisting generally going?
Okay, thank you very much.
Who's going to win?
We need to look at this thing within the legal lens. Ordinarily, Mr. Governor has the prerogative to withhold his assets. The Constitution provides for it. If he has reasonable grounds to see that, okay, this law that you have, this bill that you intend to pass into law is not in the best interest of the states, or is not in the best interest of whatever thing he feels, he can withhold these assets. And it is within the legislative power to also veto the assent of Mr. Governor. But what we are saying in essence is that the totality of the exercise of their various powers should be done in line with the good governance of River State. Now, because of the political undertone, that is why we are all reading meanings into all these things. Ordinarily, if there were no political situations in River State, perhaps we would have been objective about it. But seeing Fubara withholding his assent, seeing the House of Assembly, vetoing to veto the power of the assent of the governor, everything boils down to the fact that all is not well between the executive and the legislature.
So just a final answer from you. Who is going to come out on top? Just briefly, in one sentence, who's going to come out on top?
Who is going to?
Come out on top between the legislature and the executive.
Nobody is going to come out.
You don't see anybody coming out. I wanted to put you on the spot. Qudus, Alalafia, Esquire. Thank you very much for your time.
All making, thank you very much.
Qudus, you can rest easy, and go about your normal activities in Abuja. Don't mind me. I'm just being funny. But thank you so kindly for your time. I enjoyed the conversation. You're lively, and we hope to have you again some other time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.